welcome to I Hate Card Tricks. My name is Levi Thomas. I hate card games. So this week we are back with probably my favorite deck that I've built since Break and Breach. This is a combo deck that I'm calling Copycat Mill. There's probably a better name for it. I've actually played this deck quite a lot. I actually recorded games for this deck for I Hate Card Games last week, but the videos actually got corrupted, or at least the audio on them, so I'm re-recording, which is fine. I streamed the deck a little bit, and I also played a competitive league where I took it to, I think, 4-2 or 3-2, something like that. I've tweaked it since then, and I'll explain in what ways, but I'm actually going to break this deck down a little bit deeper, because I think that this could be a real thing in Modern. Kind of wants to go off around turn 4, turn 5, and it's pretty consistent at doing that. If I had to compare it to any deck, it would be the older versions of Splinter Twin that were not as control-y, but were just really focused on finding the combo pieces. So there's basically 3 combos in the deck. There is Altar of the Brood plus Liquid Metal Coating plus Saheeli, which if you get that combination, you liquid metal your own Saheeli, and then you can copy it an infinite number of times, which then mills your opponent. That's a turn 3 combo if you hit piece into piece into piece, which does happen on occasion. Second combo is Saheeli plus Felidar Guardian. Everyone knows the Copycat combo. Pretty straightforward. It's basically just Splinter Twin. And then there's a third kind of lesser known combo, which is Altar of the Brood plus 2 Felidar Guardians. The Felidar Guardians infinitely blink back and forth, and then you get infinite Altar of the Brood triggers. Because most of these combos, at least all their mana together, costs around 6 to 8. That's what the Lotus Blooms are here for. So if you manage to suspend a Lotus Bloom on turn 1, you can actually do any of the combos, I believe, on turn 4, so long as you hit your land drops, which is not too hard due to all of the draw that we have. It's really hard to not have some sort of combo by about turn 5. As for the sideboard, this has changed a little bit since the original version. I have added Damping Spheres because I would say this deck's worst matchup by far is Storm. Just because they tend to go off a little bit faster than we do, and we don't have too much interaction with what they're doing. So best case scenario, I have broken Modern and found the new Splinter Twin. Worst case scenario, this is just a worse version of Ad Nauseam. Anyways, enough talking, let's get into the games. I have some extra play points lying around, so I'm actually going to jump into a queue, I think. Hopefully this will deter people from disconnecting on us. The double Lotus Bloom doesn't help that much, but if we don't run into any land drops by chance, then we're still going to be okay. So our opponent is either on Classic Elves, or they're on some sort of enchant this and untap it for big mana. Okay, so he's on Genesis Wave, probably. Mono Green Devotion, that type of thing. So in this situation, I'm just going to let him cast his gigantic Genesis Wave, put a bunch of shit out, and then we're just gonna Felidar Guardian Saheeli next turn. Man, I will say, Primetime is a lot less scary when he doesn't have haste and double strike. Ooh. Oh, I want to get him with the Felidar Guardian bounce plan. Hey. These Damping Spheres are really, really good. Did you guys have a yo-yo assembly in elementary school? Or was that just a fever dream I had? Like, who were those guys that just came to every elementary school and just talked about how great yo-yoing was? Where are they now? How can I watch them perform? For those of you who don't live in America, just know that American elementary schools have a weird deal with, like, professional yo-yoers, and when you're a kid, they would just hire them to come to your school, and then for, like, 2 weeks, they would just sell yo-yos. And there was always that one kid that got, like, super obsessed with yo-yos and just did not stop doing yo-yoing, and I guess he's probably going to schools now and selling yo-yos. Well, I guess we're dead. Sometimes you just get beaten down by overrun. This is the definition of a gamble. We have 1 into 2 into 3, and I'm gonna keep it. I feel like the yo-yo assembly had to be around 3rd or 4th grade, which is about the time that you're most susceptible to any sort of advertising. I thought back about that and I was like, man, what a trip it was to be in elementary school in 3rd or 4th grade. And I was like, oh yeah, I remember like girls that I had crushes on, and then I thought and I was like, those girls that I had crushes on were like 3rd and 4th graders. I mean, I was too, but it's weird to think back and be like, oh yeah, like I thought they were super hot, but but they're like 3rd Alright, I'm gonna stop talking about elementary school. So at this point, I've abandoned all plans of beating him the fair way. As long as we don't die this turn, then we should win. This is Banefire? Well, I would argue that's pretty unlucky. Well, fuck it, we're lining back up. We had an HR seminar at my work, and like part of it, they were talking about time thievery. The idea is if you're doing something that's not work while you're on the clock, you're stealing time from the company. And I thought about it and I was like, man, time thievery is a really cool sounding way to say that I'm just taking a shit at work. Like, time thief sounds like the name of a summer blockbuster, but really it's just me scrolling through Reddit with my pants down. So this looks like... okay, it's just Hollow 1 aggro. Cool. Cool. So there's a gamble to be made here. I can put up the Saheeli and hope that he just swings at my face. Alternatively, I can go fuck myself. I actually would have won this game had I had Lotus Bloom in my opener. Now, if you think about it, a pregnant woman is like a turducken, but instead of a chicken inside of a duck inside of a turkey, it's just a small human inside of a larger human, and they're usually not broiled. A lot of discard. My spidey sense is tingling. I always felt like that was a weird thing for Spider-Man to say out loud to himself. It sounds like baby talk. Like, ooh, my spidey sense is tingling. Like, what? Did you think about that before he said it? Like, what human adult talks like that? Why wouldn't he just be like, I got a bad feeling about this? Our opponent should maybe consider letting out his britches. He seems to be getting a little bit big for them. So we're going to send him back down to earth here with the Supreme Verdict. Now if we just draw Alter, we're two turns away from winning. Hey, look at that. Alright, we're just going to hope that he doesn't have any interaction here. Things seem to be going okay. Does he have Double Bolt? He does have Double Bolt. He's got Vengevines, so that's not good. Yep. Well, that's also unfortunate. Well, we're back for the deck. Pretty disappointing run today, honestly. I think the deck can do a lot better than it did. We didn't really get too many Lotus Blooms in the openers, and when we did win those games. So if I were making changes to the deck right away, I would take out 2 Thirst for Knowledge, replace those with 2 Spell Pierce, and then I would put 2 Tormod's Crypts in the board. I'd just say that the deck, in its current configuration, lacks a bit of interaction that we might need. And to be fair, there might be a reason that Splinter Twin kind of evolved into more of a control combo deck over time. Turns out pro players might know what they're doing. There's also a chance that all 8 cantrips is maybe overkill, like the Jesus fish with Jesus written in it, but it'd probably take a little bit more playtesting to say. As I mentioned, still got a couple projects in the works. One is going to be anime related. The other one is, I don't know, I guess you could classify it as some sort of performance art or something. But then again, what is real life? Anyways, thanks for watching. I hate card games.